All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Giant Sports Talk Live morning edition. Here we go, talking Wednesday morning. Last night, Giants, man, looked bad in the beginning, right? They were down 7-1, but they made it interesting in the 8th and 9th innings. You know, they lost by 1, but
they did.
Big news of the day, though, Glenn, while you were in the air on your way to Canada, Marco Luciano, Luis Matos got the call up. Supposedly they're going to be up with the club for the rest of the month. So saw Luciano in that lineup last night. Had one hit, also had an error. But hey, it is what it is. What'd you think, Glenn? I know you were busy. I know you probably didn't get a chance to really get a full dose of the Giants baseball because of your travels. But any observations?
Well, last night I got a full recap by participating in Giants Sports Talk Live, which will air tonight after the final pitch of the game. You want to go on the show? Crickets. So my daughter, I'm at the condo now in Manitoba. I'm up in Canada for the next 2 weeks or so. And my daughter gets up this morning and she's like, were you guys ever going to show? I think she's going to sneak out. She shut the whole lights down a minute ago. You see that? I don't even notice that in the background. So
lights went down.
She's in making her breakfast. So we were on in Winnipeg. We didn't sign off till after 2 a.m. She's like, I got school, So she's in making her breakfast. She goes, you're not going on the show again. I said, yes, we are. Anyway, so it's gonna be a lot of fun for the next 2 weeks doing shows at 2 a.m. But if they're anything like last night, you and I were getting text messages. I had landed at the airport and my phone was going crazy. And Robbie DeVille was like, oh my God, we're back in the game. Oh, we're within 2. Oh my God, we're within 1. And then we surrendered a valuable 9th inning run, Eric. I caught the end of the game on the TV here in Canada. I've got NBC Bay Area. And then we mustered up a run in the 9th. But my old pal, Encarnacion, he struck out to end the game. But that's okay. He had a base hit. Everyone contributed. The only guy that didn't contribute was our starting pitcher, Eric.
That was rough. Yeah, Kyle Harrison only went 2 2.2 I believe. 6 hits?
Yeah.
Right? No, 8 or 9 hits and 6 runs. I think that's what it was. Only
9 hits. Tonight, our Wednesday hopes rest with Birdsong. He goes tonight. Hayden Birdsong, 3-4, 5.14 ERA, and Zach Gallen, who's 10-6 this year, Eric. He's at 387. He was off to a rough start. 10-6, not bad for him. A right-hander up against our righty, but a young pitcher, 3-4. We'll see what happens tonight, Eric. It's one of many games.
Yes, it is.
Baseball, full slate of action. One afternoon game. We'll kick it all off. That's Philadelphia at Toronto, Eric.
Yep, there we go. Let's bring it up here to kind of talk about when you were talking about that one run that won the game for Arizona. Man, you let Corbin Carroll get on the base paths. He got that single. It's almost as good as a damn triple because he went.
You know what he reminded me of? You know what he reminded me of? A poor man's Ellie De La Cruz.
Ellie De La Cruz. Yep. The kid is fast.
That is when I got home. I caught that inning as soon as I walked in the door from the airport in my full day of travel up to Canada. And I said, talk about, I've said it, a broken record, I know, Eric, but it's what we've lacked, speed. That speed produced a run. Run when all was said and done, that run was
won the game. Yes, 100%. Exactly. Great point. There's other ways to win other than just hitting the damn home run ball.
Yeah.
And
I'm not the guy who always says at the end of the game, there's bases loaded, 2 outs. I'm like, yeah, you lost the game here, or there are other ways and time frames where you've lost the game.
Correct.
And earlier in the game, obviously starting pitching didn't come through.
Runs
seemed too easy for Arizona. And we just
and hard to come by with the San Francisco Giants.
Yeah, we mustered up. We got some hits though. Everybody contributed, which was nice to see. Everybody had a base hit, I believe. For the most part. Yaz had a nice game. Encarnacion had a base knock there, drove in a run. Everybody contributed, but again, if you fall behind that far early, you're just digging yourself out of a hole, and just one short. Yep. The other thing before we jump in, I mentioned Philly at Toronto to kickstart it, Eric. If I may, you see the tickets for that game, $6. How much were tickets
Yeah.
last night? Did they raise the ticket prices? Because nobody showed up at the ballpark.
It was pretty sparse. I think they said the paid was 23,500 and something, but there wasn't that many in the park.
You and I thought it was 14.
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, well, if you were thinking last night was bad, Eric,
We'll see what happens tonight. Yeah.
just a taste of the month of September.
Yeah.
All right, Philly at Toronto.
Yeah, Philly.
Francis has been hot. Can I take this one, Eric?
Yeah, go for it.
Why not? Because I'm up here in Winnipeg. I'm not far from Toronto. The Blue Jays are at home with Bowden Francis 8-3 against Sanchez of the Philadelphia Phillies. Christopher Sanchez, who's 9-9. That game is over at the Dome, Rogers Center. It'll be on Sportsnet. I do some radio work for Rogers Sportsnet. I'll be able to catch that one today. It'll be also on the Major League Baseball Network for you down in the US of A if you want to catch that game. Phillies are the favorites to win it. Should be a nice day in Toronto for the ball game. Bowden Francis, he's 8-3. He's not bad. Should be a good game. Philly's hot, though. They're gearing up for the postseason already. 82 wins heading into that game today, Eric.
Nice. And in Baltimore, you got the Chicago White Sox facing off against the Baltimore Orioles. Baltimore will probably take care of business, but again, you never know. Jonathan Cannon going for the White Sox. Albert Suarez going for the Baltimore Orioles. Again, that's going to take a place a little bit later this afternoon, 3:35 Pacific at Baltimore.
Today at the Great American Ballpark, I believe I'll take that one next. It is the Houston Astros on the road to play the hometown Cincinnati Reds with Nick Martinez, the righty, 6-6, 3.78 ERA for the hometown team. And on the road, Spencer Spaghetti Arrighetti. He's a righty, and he's 7-11.
There you go. And in Miami, this game really doesn't matter. Washington Nationals, Miami Marlins. There's nothing at play here. Will take place this afternoon in Miami. Got Mackenzie Gore going for the Nationals against Valente Beloso for the Miami Marlins.
And guys, it is only the 4th of September. As the month goes on, Eric and I are going to be blowing through these games pretty quick. Now, won't be much at stake for a lot of teams. The Minnesota Twins are in Tampa today. Speaking of domed stadiums, I mentioned the Toronto game is at the Dome in Toronto. Well, this one is at the Dome in Tampa. One of the worst stadiums of baseball, too. Cole Sulser. Who? Cole Sulser. He must have.
I have no idea.
Eric, he must have been the September 1st call-up because I never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
He's got a 5.40 ERA, so he's pitched somewhere along the line, but he doesn't have a record to speak of. And Ronnie Henriquez.
Never heard of him either.
He's 1-0 for Minnesota. So, as you would say, a nothing game.
Yeah, there you go. And then in New York, your favorite place, Glenn?
Flushing.
I got the Boston Red Sox going up against the New York Mets in New York. You got Tanner Hook going for the Boston Red Sox against Tyler McGill. Let's see if the Mets keeping a winning race. They're playing some really good baseball. If I'm not mistaken, I think they're only a half a game out of that third wild card, so they're making it interesting for the wild card race. So we'll see how that transpires this afternoon, 4:10 p.m. Pacific in New York.
Hump Day morning trivia. What's the name of the stadium in Atlanta, Eric?
Truist Field. Hey,
oh my God, you can't put anything by this guy up here
unless
Eric,
it's Safeco Field.
Yeah, Charlie Morton 7-7. Bradley Blaylock, he's just 1-1 with a nasty 4.98 ERA at Truist Park. Yes, in Atlanta. I know I repeat myself too often, but Atlanta continues to win, Eric.
Yes, they are
looking for their 76th victory of the season today as the wild card race. Look on the screen, Atlanta. Who's above them? New York. Who's right behind them in the wild card race? New York. So we'll see how things shape up in the wild card chase with those two games going today when we bring you another Giant Sports Talk live tonight after Giants baseball. Always a great day for baseball in Kansas City, as long as I don't have to go there.
Yeah, exactly. You can catch this one on Fox Sports 1 if you have the ability to watch it on Fox Sports 1.
Well, I have the ability. I probably won't watch it, though.
I can understand.
Fair enough? Okay.
Fair enough. Cleveland Guardians going up against Kansas City Royals in Kansas City. Got Ben Lively going for the Guardians. The Kansas City's ace, Seth Lugo, will go for the Royals. Kansas City, man, they've been they're falling on hard times. They've lost quite a few games. Again, they're still in the thick of it. So they're going to need their ace, Seth Lugo, to get that win, to get them back in the winning ways. So again, takes place on Fox Sports 1, 4:40 p.m. Pacific in Kansas City.
You know what else is happening at 4:40, Eric? That is the Chicago Cubs and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Shota Imanaga, he's 11-3. You wonder why Chicago stormed back into the playoff chase here. 11-3, 3.14 ERA. And you're going to see a lot of these kind of pitchers. Domingo Germán doesn't have a record. Nasty 6.11 ERA. Where's number 0? Another one of those players wearing number 0. I dare say he may be another player that is getting some playing time because it's September. Pittsburgh's not going anywhere. And this game doesn't really excite me at Wrigley Field. Why? Because Paul Skeens pitched yesterday. So, this week's fun and excitement for the Pirates. It's done. It's over. But the Pirates play the Cubs today. Going to be a good one, though, in Milwaukee. That's a good game, Eric.
Got Sonny Gray Sonny Gray for the Cardinals against Colin Ray for the Brewers. Should be pretty exciting. And again, it's going to take place in, what is that? American Family Field? Whatever. Miller Park. That's where it's taking place at. Again, that's another 4:40 start Pacific. Should be exciting. Milwaukee has been playing some really good baseball. Willie Adames has been on fire. That's a guy, some of the Giants have been talking about maybe trying to get in the offseason, but we'll see what happens because Milwaukee's making a hell of a push. Even they traded away Corbin Burns in the offseason. So that was something. But they're still, again, they're getting it done. And we'll see what happens. In Cardinals, again, they're trying to stay in the thick of it for the wild card. And again, you got 2 decent pitchers going at it. We'll see how it transpires in Milwaukee.
Now, I might have somewhat of an interest watching part of the Yankees in Texas, but usually the game's by the 8th inning by the time I find these Prime Video feeds. New York plays Texas on Prime Video, if you know where the hell to find that. And another pitcher wears that mysterious number 0. Marcus Stroman faces Nathan Eovaldi. Everybody has got the watch, the eagle eye on Aaron Judge. Didn't hit a home run yesterday, had a base hit. Who else plays for New York, Eric, that gets your blood boiling and gets the juices flowing?
Mr. Juan Soto. You guys know where I feel about that for next year.
Boy.
Get it done. Get it done.
Battle of L.A. today down at Disney World.
Yeah, exactly. Real quick. And remember how Texas won yesterday. That was something. Won it off a walk-off grand slam. Got some excitement going on there in Texas yesterday.
The first time a rookie had ever done that.
See, there you go. The Battle of L.A. Got the Dodgers facing off against the Angels in Anaheim. It's going to be a later start, of course, Pacific time, 6:38 Pacific. Got Bobby Miller going for the Dodgers. Griffin Canning going for the Angels. I'm taking a guess at who's. Well, then again, Angels actually made it close yesterday. They had to go to extra innings for LA to win that one yesterday. So we'll see how it transpires, but I'm guessing the Dodgers.
Yeah, I'll join you on that one. I think you got it. San Diego 79-61. Eric, and guess what? Darvish is back. So I have to set my fantasy. I haven't set my fantasy lineup in 3 weeks. I think I'm going to do that right now because I've got Darvish. I thought he went on the he went the way of our catcher.
Oh, where he just disappeared? You talking about Tom Murphy? Couldn't find him.
Tom and you were golfing. I think. I don't know. I couldn't find him.
Yeah.
It's Skeeter Montero up against Darvish today in San Diego. That one, I got to lean San Diego. They're actually a heavy favorite at that one at Petco Park today.
All right. And Seattle at Oakland. That game really doesn't mean nothing, does it? It's going to be a good pitching matchup, though. JP Sears for the A's has been doing pretty good against George Kirby. Again, takes place in Oakland, 6:40 p.m. start. The game doesn't really mean anything. I think Seattle's pretty much out of it. And, of course, Oakland's out of it. And that leaves us to tonight's game.
One other thing, Eric. JP Sears pitching 11-9 for Oakland today. Not bad considering the ball club he has to work around him. But I've said to you before when we're doing this morning preview of games, when you do them every day and a week bleeds into 2 weeks into a month, every time I look at the rosters each day, I go, JP Sears, didn't he just pitch like 2 days ago? It always seems
it's
like
weird.
these games are popping up off the screen at me. Didn't he?
Time
just
flies.
like yesterday?
That's the only bad thing about doing these morning shows is the time just seems to fly by. It's weird.
It does. It does. So, too, does Giant Sports Talk Live, the evening edition. We went almost 3 hours last night, Eric. The Giants, there was a little bit of a buzz after the comeback effort. Robbie DeVille, boy, I have never seen a Giant fan more fired up. He had the rally cap on. He was jumping up and down. He was running around the stadium with Lucille, but just fell a little short. Tonight, Hayden Bursong, our Wednesday hopes rest.
I don't know, man.
Up against Zach Gallen. That one gets underway at 6:45, which means you and I will be on the air after the last pitch, which is around 9:30. We'll have a recap, and we'll be taking a look at these standings, which may change a little bit. We're watching Cincinnati and Pittsburgh, who are all of a sudden closing in on the Giants, Eric. But up the top, what a race.
Yeah, there we go. San Diego Padres sitting at the first wild card, and Arizona Diamondbacks sitting in the 2 spot. Atlanta Braves still holding strong on that third, but not very strong, I guess I should say. New York Mets is only half a game. Yeah. So those games, between the Mets and the Braves, it's going to be interesting to see how it transpires. Mets got
exciting. That's why it's exciting, these playoffs.
Mets do have a tougher competition in the Boston Red Sox than the Atlanta Braves do with the Colorado Rockies. But we'll see what happens. But look at the Mets, man.
That's why we play the games, Eric.
Yes, in their last 10, 8-2, Mets have won 6 in a row. Man, they're not messing around. Cubs, right below the Mets, 4.5 games out. They might be getting to that spot where it's going to be tough. You're going to have
Cardinals. They leapfrogged us, if that's a word. Leapt over us.
Yes, look at that. They're 2 games ahead of the Giants. Giants are now 7.5.
Go to the last column, Eric. San Francisco Giants, last 10.
Yeah,
what? 3-7.
Lost 3 in a row. 3-7.
Last night was exciting, but the end of the day, a loss was another loss. They're piling up, man. We are at 7.5 out. Cincinnati's 9.5. Pittsburgh 10. And I'm telling you, would sprinkle a little magic fairy dust on this, and all of a sudden, you could be down holding a lead on Washington in another week, Eric.
No,
that's how scary this has turned out to be.
Yep.
The reality of Giants baseball 24 is starting to sink in.
It's not going to get any better.
But with each loss comes renewed hope. You are hoping that they go out and they open up their own bank, print their own money.
That's what I'm hoping.
Juan Soto, right? You'd love to see Juan Soto.
Why not? And with that, will be our dedicated chat moderator, man. He always comes strong with some great content that helps us out.
Oh, he's getting some big royalties. He's writing some #1 hits for the artists. So I'm telling you. I'll see you tonight for Giant Sports Talk Live. Eric, and all you guys out there, guys and gals, I know the chat will be hopping tonight, especially if it seems like when we lose, that's the great night for Giant Sports Talk Live.
Yeah.
Northern Lights Entertainment Production. I'll see you tonight, Eric.
Yep. We'll see you tonight, Glenn, and we'll see the rest of you guys tonight as well after Giants-Dodgers game 2. See ya.